Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is episode 96. You can find me online everywhere as Carolien. All the links are down in the description box on YouTube or in the show notes on the Ravelry group page. The Ravelry group you can find in the group section on Ravelry as the Colourful Creativity group. And I have a shop. It is colourfulcreativity.nl. No more Etsy shop. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to all returning viewers. I'm happy you like it here and sticking around, spending some time of your day with me. And of course, welcome to all new viewers. Also very happy to have you. I hope you like it and stick around, subscribe down below and become a returning viewer. So, no spinning update this time because there was almost no spinning. You can see my wheel here. She's very cold, very cold. There's nothing on her but a leader. Sometimes there is just no time in the day for extra stuff and just time for work, and a little bit of knitting because I do have knitting. So it's another knitting update this time. I am starting off with a finished headband. Hooray! Let me pop it on so you can see it. It's gonna keep my head and my ears nice and warm. Hair still good. That's what I like about a headband instead of a hat. And I have knit this in this yarn. This is a super bulky new base I was test driving. It's just called Colourful Super Bulky, or actually Super Bulky because I'm leaving the colourful off because I think in Ravelry it looks a bit weird if you're typing in the name and it shows like Colourful Creativity, Colourful Super Bulky. So Colourful Creativity Super Bulky. That's what I'm gonna be naming this. Just Super Bulky by Colourful Creativity. Me. The pattern I used is the Braided Knit Headband by Beth Atwood, and I actually just copied it off her blog. It is a free pattern and it is in Ravelry, but then you get a link to her blog. I just copied the few rows, that's it, and printed it out. Plain, nothing to see. Yeah, I am not a fan of it. To be honest, the pattern is totally okay, but the 9mm needles and the super bulky yarn is not my cup of tea. Give me a 2.5mm and I will knit you anything, but a 9mm I'm just not there. Yeah, and this is gonna be an episode with a lot of large needles, so apparently there's a time for everything. This was definitely the largest, the 9mm. The headband took about 70 grams, so I have 30 grams left. And I wound it in this ball because that cake was a mess. And I didn't want to keep it like that for storage. I seamed it. It's not the prettiest thing, but it'll do. This will be on the back, in the neck, and I'll be fine. I mean, this is my first headband. There may be more, but not in super bulky. So yeah, it doesn't even have a colorway name, actually. So maybe something like something with gold, probably. Not sure. Or something Egyptian. Anyone? Suggestions? Give it to me. So that was my finished object. Then I have works in progress. And I have to look at my list to see what my progresses were. Oh yeah, now I remember. I have here in my Pleistra bag something I have to work on today. Because my darling husband asked me yesterday while we were already almost sleeping, did you actually finish those mittens for me? Because it's gonna get cold this week and I have to bike. No, not finished, so I have to finish them today. He can borrow mine if he needs to, but yeah. Coffee mittens. The pattern I am using is a mashup of these charts by Karen Aida, and these are actually for socks, and I am using the How Cold Is It mittens by Drunkle Designs as a guideline on how to shape the mittens. And well, the first one you can probably see I didn't go all the way to the point. I left with about 8 stitches, maybe 10, and I kitchenered it because that point is just useless, especially for my husband. He doesn't have that long middle finger, so it doesn't have to be so pointy. He does have a wider thumb than I do and a wider hand, so this is actually a bit roomy for me, but there for him, so no worries. And I am working on the second one at the moment. This is where I am, halfway through the cup, and I have already split the thumb, and yes, I did it on both different ones. So I have a left and a right mitten. I did not mistake myself there. Oh god, I was like, I have to do it on the right side, have to do it on the right side. You know, where you get 3 mittens, 2 right ones, 1 left. No, not gonna happen. I have done it right. Then I have the yarn. This one is a brand new color from Colourful Creativity on Soft Sock. This is Coffee Deer, and I just made some photos of the yarn to go in the shop update later this week. And this one is an undercover otter yarn from the Clan of Igars, January 2019. Here is undercover otter card, and the colorway is called Fritz. I really like that it's green with those little speckles and also a little bit variegated or tonal, how you want to call it. It's a very cool color combination, I think, the brown with the green. I am knitting these for the cuffs on 2.5mm needles, higher sharps, and also on 3mm needles for the color work, because I am very tight in my color work and it needs to be nice and dense, but not stand up by itself. I mean, it can flop. So it's really nice and soft still. I am very much enjoying the color work. I might not enjoy it today because, well, they have to be finished today because tomorrow morning at 7 AM it's freezing and my husband wants to bike. It's dry and it's sunny. Well, it's set to be sunny, so he can totally bike. He just needs to dress appropriately. So hopefully next time you'll see this, it's a whip, and actually hopefully next time I can show them and he's not wearing them constantly. Then the next work in progress is a big one. Let me grab all the bits and pieces, or at least all the bits and pieces that are attached. Namely the yarn, 2 colors. Some of you might already know what's coming now, because I have a huge thing to show. This is my Marled Mania cardigan from Stephen West or West Knits. This is the yoke or the top, and this is the body, and this is the ribbing. And I'm still at that damn ribbing. It's fine, really. Look, I have my progress marker now at 20 rows done and a little bit more, so I'm now at 27 and I have to go to, I think it was about 32, 34, and then I have a bind off, so I'm almost there. and I really like it. This is a singles yarn. Since I do not support the company, I will not tell you the name. But yeah, once it's gone out of my stash and be done with it. So the rest of the yarn is a lot. You can find it all in my project page on Ravelry. It's all singles yarn, and I have been saving yellow singles for like 2 years before I had enough to start this project. So if you think, oh my goodness, I could never do that because it's so expensive, just buy that one color you always go for, and then you can probably combine them all in this project. That's the cool thing of this model project. And I started up here with something orangey, and then faded into the yellow, going to the yellowish green, and then going back to the same orangey. And for the sleeves I will do the same. I have calculated it. It's going to be 8 rows of every combination, and then I can do the fade there and back again as well. And this is one of those thick needle projects because this is a 5mm or a size 8 US, higher sharp. These are interchangeables. And this is very much on the maximum of what I really like. But yeah, like I said, give me a 2.5 and I'm happier. Which I will show to you in the next project. Which actually does have a project bag, because the Mod Mania is too freaking big for a project bag at the moment. But in this Katin bag, if I pronounced that very wrong, sorry, with all the kitties, the knitted good, knitted real good bag, I actually have a finished sock. I know. I'm the person who has about 8 socks lying around that need a second one, or even need to be finished, on the needles. And I think I have a lot of sock whips at the moment. And I cast on a new sock. Well, actually I cast on a swatch like this. So I had the green for the cuff, the new colorway Freckle Mojito, then Mojito to go, and Poolside Mojito, also new. You have seen it in my hoodie shawl cardigan already, but I was like, that looks really good. And for my swatches, if I do something like this and trying out that fade, I was like, oh, I can just do it like a sock cuff, cast on 64 stitches, and take that glow stick green as the cuff, and then see what will happen. Sometimes I cast on another, or bind off in a 2x2 rib to have another cuff, and just have it as a swatch. And I was like, oh, I love this so much. I knit this in like no time, just a few hours in the evening, I think. Just mindless, not mindful, TV knitting. I was like, ah. Then I dyed this screaming orange called Clementine, also new colorway to come. I was like, I can make a heel of that. That would be nice. Then I did some calculations on the foot, if I could make it happen with the yarn I had. I was like, yeah, I could actually do that. I could actually make it one sock. So here it is. I finished that foot in one evening together with the heel. That was Friday. Robert was gone, so I had the TV for me, put on some soppy Netflix series, and yeah, that was a whole foot. And then on Saturday I just had to finish the toe in glow stick again. So see, cuff and toe the same, different heel. And again, Mojito to go, Freckle Mojito, Mojito to go, Poolside Mojito, Mojito to go, and just a teeny tiny bit more because my foot's that long and my calculations were off, so I had to do 5 more rows of Freckle Mojito. But that's fine, I don't mind. The next one, I'm going to use the same colors, just in a different order. I plan on doing a orange cuff and toe and a green heel. I mean, I can show you, yeah, here it is. I have a different project bag for the yarn because it was getting too much. This is what I have left of the green. I hope it's a heel. If not, I have a backup for just the last bit. And this is all of the Mojito to go I have left. So I have to dig up some mini skeins I think I should have. Or steal the one from my shawl that I'm also working on. Poolside Mojito should be enough. And then I have here the cake of the Prickle Mojito, which is basically almost a full cake. And this freaking glowing thing of clementine is also plenty. Yeah, so, and come to think of it, let me grab this one. What also might be an amazing combination is these two, the coffee deer and the clementine, for a color project. Oh, that would be so fabulous. I might need to make another pair of mittens to get that out of my system. No new projects, finish your whips. That's my motto. So yeah, I have managed to finish a sock in like 3 days. I can still do it. My Sock Mojo might be back just in time for sign-ups for Sock Madness to start. For those interested in Sock Madness and do not know what I'm talking about, I will give you a little bit of an explanation. Sock Madness is a competition, and you knit a pair of socks in 2 weeks' time for yourself or someone else. It is a speed knitting competition, and you have those 2 weeks, and within that time you have to finish. There are teams, and according to in which team you are, you have to knit really fast or a bit slower. Last year for me, I was in the second fastest team, which was crazy. But I managed to hang on for a few rounds, and then it got too stressful with the whole renovation. I was done. And then I lost my Sock Mojo because I have knit so many socks under pressure that I was like, yeah, done. No more socks. That's why I have so many socks, single socks with no partner, because my Sock Mojo left me all through the rest of the year. And now January is here. February 1 is the first day of admission of sign-ups for Sock Madness. Then you have a whole month to sign up and figure out if you want to sign up. And then beginning of March, the competition starts with 2 weeks where you have to knit 1 pair of socks, or more if you want to, but 1 is enough, according to a specific pattern they give you, and that's the qualification round. So if you're in, you get all the patterns of the whole competition in the months after. It takes until halfway June, I think, the whole competition. So yeah, I'm joining again. I was in December still. I'm not sure, should I join again? My Sock Mojo is gone. I have no clue. What should I knit? I don't like my socks. I want to knit garments. Yeah. Hello, Sock Mojo. Give me something neon speckly apparently, and just very simple plain stockinette. I'll zoom right through and love it. By the way, this is a Fish Lips Kiss heel for those wondering what I did for the heel. It's not an afterthought, it's a just regular, put it in at the time you knit it. And this is where my give me a 2.5mm statement comes from. 2.5mm high sharps, zoom right through the sock. So yeah, the base I used was soft sock. Not sure if I said, but just soft sock. All the colorways are dyed on soft sock. I have to dye on other bases as well, but I thought let me get the soft sock out of the way first, because that's the most popular base anyways, according to me, because I just ordered another 6 kilos of soft sock. Oh well. Then I have been swatching as well, because new yarn means I need to test drive stuff. So in my London bag I got from my lovely friend Louise, I have a swatch of the Freckle Mojito, Mojito to Go, and Poolside Mojito Fade, or the Mojito Fade as I call it. And this is held with a strand of kid silk. So a strand of mohair and silk. You can see them together. Soft sock with the kid silk. I hope this is visible. Yes, it focused. I knit these on 6.5mm needles. Let me find my notes for it. Here it is. I use my Bad Betty Knits gauge card. I thought I'd swatch right away for my love note that I am planning. And after knitting this swatch, I was itchy all over my face, and I was like, oh drat, I might be allergic to mohair. I still have to write down the right measurements here, because I haven't washed it or measured it correctly. But I did write on the back that it is for my love note. It's a 6.5mm, it's soft sock plus kid silk, and it's the Mojito Fade. So these cards are in the shop for everyone if you want to. I really like them, and I have a few swatches. I have no clue what they are, needle size, or even what I plan to make them for. So yeah, pretty stupid. So here we are with the swatch again. You can see it's really nice and open with the big needle. The Love Note sweater is said to be on a 6mm needle, because I'm a tight knitter. I was like, let me grab the 6.5, and actually probably I was like, oh, let me grab a needle. I think this is the 6mm, and then it turned out that it was the 6.5, because the 6mm was in use in something else. Oops. It was in a sweater that I was trying to knit for a class I was going to teach, and that didn't happen, and that sweater got dug somewhere in the whip pile very far away in my attic. So yeah, I have found a needle again. And I have now a swatch of mohair and soft sock on a 6mm needle, and I'm also swatching this one in the round, because the sweater is knit in the round and not flat, and my flat gauge is different from my in the round gauge. So yeah, I'm swatching. Who me? Yeah, this me. This is a messed up batch of glow stick yarn. It's a bit greener than it should be. And I am combining it with a teal kid silk that I dyed from the same stuff that that white one came from, but that white one was just from the bag, not washed, not treated, and this one is treated by me, washed and all. So I was also testing if I would be allergic to the mohair, and it seems like it may have been something that they treated the stuff with, because I do not have issues with this one. So the white one is skeined up again and ready to be washed. And as for this one, I was considering this to be my love note, this green with that teal mohair. And even though I don't think it's ugly, I do not see myself wear a sweater this bright green. I think I would feel like a marshmallow on legs, like neon blinking marshmallow on legs and fluffy and stuff. So this will be ripped, or maybe not ripped, but just cast off as a swatch to see And then I'm going to over dye the green yarn into something a bit darker with the teal in mind, and then combine it that way. So it is a bit of a darker sweater total, if that makes sense. It's not ugly, definitely not, but it's just not me. So, swatching, I'm doing it. I'm being the good person. Even though, like my swatch card says, swatches are lying liars that lie. Except this one, of course. Yeah, this one probably also is. And there's also other designs on the swatch cards. The swatch today, swear less tomorrow. Should I swatch? Everyone's doing it. Or you don't swatch. I too like to live dangerously. I think these are fabulous, absolutely fab. I really like them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken them into my assortment. So, you will have seen quite a lot of new yarn. I have started the year with all my inspiration in yarn, but that is not everything I have, because I also had some inspiration for something else, and I had that a few months already, and I was finally able to make it happen with a fellow maker who is local to me and who makes amazing things, Annabelle Esther, and she helped me make this thing come true. Without further ado, here we are. This is the knitting and needle gauge with the kitty logo on it. I know it's very bad. You can see it very badly. Let me see if this helps. Let me fold it. It is so bright and neon that it is really difficult. I already had some difficulty in the photography, but yeah. This is a knitting and needle gauge thingy, as I like to call it, or my little knitting friend. It has 5 centimeters on this side, 2 inch on that side, and then it has the full needle size gauge. So if you do not have the sizes printed on your needle anymore, like I often have with my Hayas, then you can measure it in this one. Or those characters are just too freaking tiny, like my mom says. She's like, I can't even read that, that's way too small. Yeah, I understand. That's why we have this thing. It goes from 2 to 5.5 millimeter needles, and it takes steps of 0.25 millimeter, so 2.25, 2.5, 2.75, 3 millimeter, 3.25, 3.5, 3.75, 4 millimeter, and then it goes 4.5, 5, 5.5. So there you go. Oh yes, there's Kitty. There you can see him. These will wander into the shop this week as well. And as for the shop, colourfulcreativity.nl, there is a change from the Dutch Post, which is actually hopefully very positive, and hopefully I can announce the new shipping prices on Wednesday. And with that, then will be the shop update on Thursday. I hope they will finally freaking fix their invoicing, so I can finally see if it's all correct and I'm not have to pay like the whole shebang, like for US 25 euro, while it said that I should only pay 12 or 16 depending on the weight. That would be very positive for you guys as well, because usually you could just go up to a kilo even though if you wanted just one skein you'd have to pay 25 euros. Now it will be one skein for 12 and something euros, let's say 13 if you round it up. So it would be very much cheaper if you only buy a little bit. If you buy more, of course, it goes up until you go over a kilo and it's even more. But yeah, a kilo of yarn is quite a lot, and I don't think I've had a kilo order yet, except for a wholesale order. But yeah, you're welcome to try, of course. There's plenty in stock at the moment. There's also something sold out, and I will get to that next time for the shop update. I try to do a new stuff and then a what is sold out stuff update, and I hope I can manage that for at least the next few months, or at least for this month, and the start of next month will be then a sold out update. And then I have to see, because I will have surgery and I am not allowed to do anything for at least a week, and they even said 10 days. So I was like, yeah, might have to take like 2 weeks off. It's a laparoscopic surgery, but still they're gonna mess in my tummy and see if there's endometriosis, because the pain I'm having is ridiculous. Not much to say about it, sorry. It's just, yeah, shipping and stuff will continue, but I just won't be able to work, lift heavy things, etc. I couldn't lift more than about 5 kilos, they said. Binks is almost 5 kilos, so I can still lift him. But yeah, that's about it. No yarn for me, just knitting, and I will just enjoy that. Yeah, I think we're through. Shop update probably Thursday if I know the prices, the shipping for sure. Otherwise I'll postpone. Sign up for the newsletter. I would recommend that if you want to be the first to know when is the shop update and what about the shipping prices. So probably will post that in the newsletter first, then post it online on Instagram, Facebook, etc. But with the old algorithm, the newsletter is the safest place. That will go into your inbox and you will totally see that. Or at least I hope so. If you not let it go to the spam folder. Because stupid internet whatevers are mean. Yeah, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. My head's not in the right place, I guess, with all the meds I'm taking because of all the pain I have. And I'm a bit nervous for my pre-op screening tomorrow. And now, yeah, well, I wanted to record the podcast anyways. I hope to see you back next time, and I hope to be in a bit less rambly and all over the place kind of state. So, bye bye.